Pivot is a polyurethane upholstery. It has a special Stay Clean coating that is applied in the manufacturing process to the face of every Pivot fabric, and we're going to demonstrate how easy it is to remove ink, which is normally very, very difficult to remove. So we're going to take 2 memos, white or an off-color white, and a medium to dark color memo, and we're going to take 2 sources of ink, a permanent marker pen that you're going to have in your kit, as well as a ballpoint ink. It happens to be a Bic pen. They'll be in your kit. And what we're going to first do is show you how the inks look on paper. We're then going to apply that ink first to the white. You can see how the Stay Clean resisted the ink, so give you some idea of the difference between paper and Pivot. Now we're going to apply to the darker color. Now we're going to apply ballpoint ink. Now while I let the permanent marker dry, it needs to have a few minutes to dry before I start the demonstration. Let me describe a few things about ink. As you can appreciate, ink is formulated to stain. That is its purpose. And there are many types of inks, and each formulation is different. So you will find as you do these demonstrations, whether with the pens we give you or anything in the field, that there are different kinds of inks. Some of the inks are more difficult than others to remove. That should not be a problem if you understand some of the points that I will be making in this demonstration. However, what's common in all cases, the longer we leave on an ink stain on a substrate, the more difficult and the more elbow grease, and perhaps even what we use to clean it may change. So if ink is on for a few minutes or even a few days, that might be a relatively easy situation on Pivot. However, if it's left on for weeks and possibly months, that's going to require considerable more effort. So bear that in mind. Time is a factor with ink stains. In addition, how firmly the ink was applied will also be a factor as well. If someone uses a lot of pressure to put the ink on, that of course will add to the amount of work that will be used. Some of the things that we use to clean initially, many of the colors of Pivot, especially the non-white colors, can be initially cleaned almost totally or totally with just a dry cloth. So I'm going to demonstrate that on one side of each line. Now just removed, from the way I can see, all of the ink stains on this side with just a dry cloth. Now, other types of inks may be more difficult, or certainly if time is a factor, we're going to use a more effective method, which is alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, available in every drugstore. Usually 2 concentrations is what you'll find. The less concentrated is 70%. More concentrated is 91%, which you probably should have a bottle with you when you go in these demonstrations, just in case a more severe condition is shown to you. But I'm just going to use the 70% wipes on the other side of the memos. And then you follow with a dry cloth. So you see the white. I just cleaned these 2 lines. I'm going to take another, use a second wipe, don't use the same one for both. I'm going to go on the other side of the line, again using a dry cloth. You see alcohol easily removes those stains. Now this is initially when you're doing a demonstration, but if it was over time and there are all kinds of inks all over the world, so if there's any ones that are more challenging, I would suggest having 91% isopropyl alcohol with you, as well as realizing a lot more elbow grease would be needed if you have a more difficult case.